Not too long ago, we discussed some videos the WWE never wants the fans to see. Things such as a Chris Benoit tribute show or embarrassments such as when Vince made Trish bark like a dog. It should therefore come as no surprise that there are more where those came from. Join us now as WrestleLamia looks at 10 more videos the WWE doesn't want you to see. Number 1. Rita Chatin, the WWF's first female referee. If you saw our video on Mr. McMahon's #MeToo moments, you'll recall the name Rita Chatin, the WWF's first female referee who worked briefly in the WWF during the mid-80s, appearing on Tuesday Night Titans, and seen officiating matches during the WWF's weekly syndicated programs. Chatin disappeared from WWF television with fans wondering what had happened. That is until she appeared on the Geraldo Rivera's Now It Can Be Told TV program and accused McMahon of forcing himself on her. Check out our video for more details. Since her appearance, the WWF has scrubbed all evidence of Chatin's time in the promotion and does not recognize her as the promotion's first female referee, despite her officiating decades before any other women in the WWE. Number 2. Vince gets ribbed by David Letterman. In 1985, the WWF was flying high with WrestleLamia proving a big success, and the WWF landing a contract to air Saturday night's main event, its reoccurring late-night specials on the NBC network. Vince must have been prouder than a peacock when David Letterman asked him to participate in a contest to find the first baby born in the Big Apple on New Year's. Vince handled the duties at one of New York's hospitals with all the pomp and circumstance of a presidential inauguration. Clad in a black tuxedo and enunciating every word in a Howard Cosell-like manner he emulated to perfection in the 70s and early 80s, Vince was so straight-laced he made Sheldon Cooper look like the Fonz. David Letterman and his studio audience enjoyed many laughs as Vince played the straight man, unaware he was the butt of their jokes on Dave's 3rd anniversary special. The video is up on YouTube, but you can be sure Vince likes it as much as George Lucas liked the Star Wars Holiday Special. Number 3. Droz's paralyzing accident. Darren Drozdov played professional football for the NFL as a nose tackle, earning the nickname Puke thanks to his habit of vomiting during games. As seen in the documentary Beyond the Mat, Droz parlayed this skill into a job with the WWF when he showed Vince McMahon his ability to vomit on command. He debuted in 1998 and had a key role in the controversial angle where he tried to take Road Warrior Hawk's spot in the Legion of Doom by enabling Hawk's substance abuse problem. Tragically, his career ended on 5th October 1999 at a SmackDown taping when he was wrestling D'Lo Brown. During the match, Brown executed his running powerbomb move, but things went horribly wrong as Drozdov landed on his head, fracturing 2 vertebrae in his neck. As a result, he became a quadriplegic, but he maintains a strong positive attitude. In 2014, Droz told Jim Ross, "I have no hard feelings towards D'Lo because shit happens, and everyone who gets involved in athletics, including WWE, knows the risks that exist. It was an accident." While the SmackDown taping aired on 7th October 1998, the WWF cut the match out and it remains edited out. However, the aftermath when Droz is being stretchered out of the arena was included in the WWF's Don't Try This at Home video. Number 4. Booker T racism angle. If you didn't see our video where we asked, is the WWE racist, you'll get a chance to see some highly questionable storylines involving race and ethnicity. One storyline the WWE would like to forget is the one where Booker T challenged Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 19 and was ridiculed by the Game and manager Nature Boy Ric Flair because Booker wasn't the type of person who deserved to be world champion. Or to quote Triple H, "Somebody like you doesn't get to be a world champion. People like you don't deserve it. You're not a competitor, you're an entertainer. You're here to make people like me laugh." Triple H also commented on Booker T's nappy hair, completing his racist tirade, one the WWE would like to keep off their airwaves. Number 5. Katie Vick. In 2003, the WWE was at an incredibly low point creatively, with the promotion's ratings continuing to drop despite being the only national wrestling promotion on the air. In one of the WWE's most insane booking moves, they decided that a necrophilia angle would make for a compelling storyline. When the Big Red Machine challenged Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship, Hunter played mind games by accusing Kane of taking liberties with the dead body of Katie Vick, a woman who died during a car accident she and Kane were in. The angle only got worse when Hunter disguised himself as Kane, shooting a video of him entering a coffin with a Katie Vick mannequin and simulating what the WWE does to its fans every week. The angle was widely panned, and thankfully it's one the WWE would prefer no one ever see again. Number 6. Tim White wants to end his life. We're not sure what creative was smoking here, but if WWE thought the Katie Vick angle was a good idea, the idea of Tim White ending his life should have been a ratings booster. Tim White was involved in an injury that ended his refereeing career. WWE aired weekly segments every Thursday afternoon at the WWE's website that featured White attempting to end himself, only for things to backfire, leading to White surviving the incident. The series was panned, particularly since Eddie Guerrero had died in November that year. Number 7. Lita Energys celebration. As 2006 began, Vince McMahon decided that announcing a live whoopee celebration for Monday Night Raw would be a good way to keep fans tuned in. The Rated R superstar Edge had just won the WWE Championship and announced that he was going to celebrate the achievement with a coital celebration with his manager Lita. As promised, the two got busy in the middle of the squared circle with a small mountain of blankets covering them. Obviously, the angle is something that WWE don't want to remember in a PG era, and has done everything in its power to keep the video off the internet and naturally off the network. Number 8. The self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. Fans don't recall the WWE DVD Screwed, the Bret Hart story, but they might have had Bret Hart not reconciled with the WWE when the promotion decided to create a video documenting Bret Hart's wrestling career. Sadly, this wasn't the case with the Ultimate Warrior, who was still waging a war of words against the WWE when the WWE approached him about participating in a video about his short but legendary WWF career. The Warrior passed, so the WWE took a page from Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, saying, "I came not to praise the warrior, but to bury him." The result was the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, a one-disc set featuring every superstar the WWE could find to disparage the Warrior's matches and mock his promos. The Warrior promptly sued the WWE for their portrayal of his character, but the case was ultimately dismissed. Cooler heads prevailed, however, and the Warrior reconciled with the WWE shortly before passing away, entering the WWE Hall of Fame and participating in a 3-disc collection profiling his career. A follow-up set was released showcasing more of the Warrior's greatest matches, but it's highly unlikely the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD will be featured on the WWE Network, given the WWE's efforts to reconcile with the Warrior. Number 9. Pillmans got a gun. The WWF was in serious trouble as WCW continued pummeling it in its ratings every Monday night. However, the WWF's efforts to push the envelope into more realistic storylines seemed to be helping. One edgy storyline nearly ended the WWF spot on the USA Network. Brian Pillman was involved in a feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin that featured Austin injuring Pillman and vowing to finish the job by going to Pillman's home. On 4th November 1996, the WWF aired a series of vignettes where Austin stalked Pillman and his family, taking out Pillman's storyline bodyguards before confronting Pillman in his home. Pillman produced a handgun and fired a round, with the WWF cutting off the feed to climax the chaos and violence it had been building up all night. The angle was the talk of wrestling fans everywhere, but the WWF pushed the envelope too far and the USA Network almost cancelled Monday Night Raw, particularly for Pillman dropping the F-bomb on live television. The angle was seen as an important part of Steve Austin's build-up into wrestling's greatest anti-hero, but it almost marked the end of the WWF's presence on cable television, and it's a video you'll be hard-pressed to find. And number 10. Vince almost strangles Bob Costas. The Attitude Era proved a very popular and successful time for the WWF, with Vince McMahon having his wrestlers push the envelope, taking the product into rated R territory that thrilled the fans and helped the company overtake WCW during the Monday Night War. However, the Attitude Era wasn't without its critics, as the media questioned how the WWF could market an R-rated product towards kids. One such critic was sports journalist Bob Costas, who invited Vince McMahon to appear on Costas' HBO show On The Record in 2001 to discuss the XFL and WrestleMania. Things got ugly when Costas questioned McMahon about the XFL, possibly fixing games to boost ratings, the Attitude Era's adult content, and the Lionel Tate homicide trial. Costas was condescending with comments such as, "I think there's a general perception that while the XFL doesn't go anywhere near where the WWF goes, that it's a low-rent form of television," and in his frequent interruptions of McMahon. McMahon, however, did little to help himself as he got angry with Costas and fired back.
"Shut your mouth and let me answer the question, all right? I'll be happy to answer."
Neither man looked good in the interview, and it's still talked about today, at least everywhere but in the WWE. In a 2017 interview with Sports Illustrated, Costas looked back on the infamous interview. "Vince did come forward in his seat and jab a finger at me, and he was very angry. And it was live, not just because it was HBO, but there were no commercials and no interruptions. It was nearly a half hour of unremitting tension. I knew what he was trying to do. I never thought, and maybe I'm just a little dense, that he was going to take a swing at me or anything like that. I thought he was trying to intimidate me and throw me off my game, and he became actually angrier when that wasn't working. Vince, whom I get a kick out of, is a skilled performer. I have nothing against him, and I've actually shared some laughs with him, before and after that. Vince likes to say that if I were bigger, he would have kicked my ass. There was only one person who got his ass kicked that night, and it wasn't me." But there you have it, guys. 10 more videos the WWE doesn't want you to see. Have you seen any of these? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.